I guarantee you have never seen this items unless you were born before the 90s or in the 90s. So here we go, let's get started with this. Okay, you've probably seen this before, but you might have not. But this is the TY Beanie Baby Dalmatian. It was one of the most sought out Beanie Babies that I have ever seen before. Okay, it's not like the most sought out in the world, but it's one of the hardest ones I've ever seen to get. As a kid, I never got one. When I got older, I finally did. Okay, but they went for expensive prices, about $150 for TY Beanie Babies in the 90s. They were the biggest fad. They were like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and all that stuff, and they were huge back then. This is a Tamagotchi. Okay, you've probably seen them before. You probably don't know what the heck they are. Okay, they are little animals in this little game that you take care of. You gotta feed it, walk it, groom it. You gotta make sure that it's taken care of. You gotta make sure that everything is okay. It's like a responsibility of a real pet, but without all the real things. Because literally, you forget to feed your dog, you kill your dog. Here, you forget to feed your pet. Well, you just restart with a puppy again until it gets to an adult and to see how long it can go until the pet dies of old age or until you just haven't taken care of it. Take your choice. Okay, you have seen all the new Xboxes, PS3s, all that new stuff. You've seen the Xbox One, the PS4. You've probably even seen the Wii. You've probably seen, what else came before that? The Xbox 360. The PS3, but I guarantee you haven't seen this unless you go to a retro store where they sell them. This is an N64. This is the game of games in growing up in the 90s. Okay, if you owned one, you were awesome. You were the most amazing person ever. Okay, but if you didn't own them, you were the lamest. Now, the crazy thing about this is you have cartridges, as I call them, where you stick your game into the machine slot, and what you do is you turn on the button, and if it doesn't work, you press the reset button, and if it still doesn't work, you pull it out, you blow the bottom, and you stick it back in because maybe it was dusty. Okay? Back then, they had controllers that were connected to the machine. They weren't wireless. They weren't any fancy wireless-free system. They never ran on batteries. You just plug them into the machine and it goes. It is something that you probably haven't seen ever or know what an Xbox 64 is. Now, I don't know what to call these, but I'm going to call them a bug in a box because sometimes you would open them up and you would find a bug in there with the legs that dangle. Okay? Now, that is true. They dangle. They just stay there. It's not very interesting. But as a kid, growing up in the 90s, it was the most amazing thing just to have a wooden box with a little bug in there to scare people. Or sometimes you would get a sharpener in the back. Okay, that is a rare thing. And you would take your pencil, you would sharpen it, and you could open it, and you could see all your shavings with your bugs. It was a cool invention. It was the most amazing thing in my time. That didn't cost very much, but it was very awesome too. Okay, here's another cool invention that you might have not seen. There are two things that go with this. Okay, first one is they are stamps. Okay, you take your markers and you can stamp them, literally. So you get these little designs at the bottom of your markers that are like stamps. And you can place them all over your paper, no matter what, like however you want to do it. Also, to go with this is you've probably never seen, well, you probably have seen them now, but they weren't like how they were back when I was growing up. They are scented markers, okay? You would see them how they are with stamps in them, but they could also smell like something fruity or bubblegum or blueberry or something. Okay, now they got these weird Centos markers, okay, but it's nothing like what I had growing up. But these ones, they're considered stamps, and now they got big giant rubber stamps that you put your ink to it and then you stamp it where you want it. But these back then, you never needed ink because it was already in the marker. Now these were fun toys that you could take to the park, the beach, when you're traveling, when you're going on vacation, wherever you want. They are Velcro balls, well, Velcro gloves that you put on the back of your hand and you put the Velcro strap to it and you catch the ball with it. So it's like taking a tennis ball and throwing it to this thing that catches it. And they were fun to play with at the beach because it's easier to catch the ball than it is with your hand. At the park it's great because you just throw it from long distances and you can catch it. It's a fun thing to have overall. I mean, I've never seen them since that because they probably came out with new stuff, but back then they were amazing. Okay, now these don't exist anymore because I haven't seen them ever since I was a kid, but these you put in your wheel spokes. Okay, and what they do is they just make them look really cool, really awesome, and makes it really colorful. That's mostly what the function are. Sometimes they made a little sound as they went through, like back and forth the spokes, but really they were just there for color and show. They weren't really for anything else. It didn't really do very much, but it was awesome to have them. I had them, my sister had them. They were amazing to have. Now, to be very honest, growing up as a kid, we didn't get very many games, okay? We've had tons, but I mean, we didn't really get games that were from the 90s, to be honest. Well, they are from the 90s, but I mean, really, they were, how do I explain this? They were we bought them later in life. We didn't really buy them when they first came out. We bought them at like garage sales or stuff like this, but they're still from the 90s. So this game is called Pizza Party. Now, I don't really remember how the game goes, except that you're trying to make your slice of pizza as fast as possible. Like, you can put pepperoni, you can put green peppers, mushroom, red onion, whatever they want. So you got to create your slice of pizza the way they want you to create it. And you got to find the pieces that you are looking for because they're all round and they have the different designs on them so that you can know. When you flip it over, you got to make sure that's the right one. Like if you need a pepperoni and you already have a pepperoni, you can't use it. You need to find another piece. So you keep finding it until it comes up and then you create your pizza that way. Okay, you've seen these before at arcade machines, but these are totally different than what you've seen. Okay, yeah, they still take your money, they still take your coins, but this is old, and I mean really old. It is old. It was like back in my time when you put in your money, you get 4 quarters, you change $1, you get 4 quarters. I mean, that's how it was. It was nothing fancy, nothing extravagant, but it was just a cool invention to be able to take $1 and switch it for 4 quarters. Or you take $5 and you switch it for 20 quarters. Okay? They have them still around, but you don't really find them very often. It's mostly for tokens. Like if you go to Nickel City, you'll put in your money and you get 5-cent nickels. Okay? Or if you go to like some cinema and they have it, you're getting tokens to play your games, but you're not really doing it for money. You don't really find them very often. You might find it at a bowling alley, but other than that, I haven't seen it in. Now, I guarantee you've never seen this machine before. You would not know what it is. If I said, do you know what a Walkman is? They'd be like, what the hell is a Walkman? Okay? I'd say you listen to music, and it's like, okay, well, I got my iPhone, my Android, I got my MP3 player. Does that do the same thing? Yeah, it's kind of the same thing, but let's put it this way. You play cassette tapes that don't exist anymore. Okay? Literally, you would take your cassette, you'd put it in, you'd push the play button, and if you want to listen to a song again, you don't push a button that just plays the track again. You literally have to rewind to the beginning of the song. Literally. Okay? You want to fast forward, you got to push the fast forward button until it gets to the end of the song. And if you miss the end of the song, like you pass right past the end of the song and you go to the new song that you want to listen to, you could probably be halfway in the song, near the end, who knows? But you have not seen a Walkman before. These were the top of the line portable music players that you have not ever seen. Also, to go with this Walkman was a Discman player. I had one growing up, listening to the YTV Party Mix, because it was the biggest thing back then as a kid, and it was a Discman player. Okay, you put your CD in, you listen to it, you want to go back, you push the track back so that you can play the track again. You want to fast forward, you want to go like two songs ahead, you push it twice and it goes ahead. But right now, these were the greatest inventions back then that don't exist to this day, because you got your iPhone that holds 8, 16, 32, 64 gigs worth of music. And if you have an Android, you could literally take it and put like 64 gigs in there and jack up how much space you have and put like thousands and thousands of songs. On these cassette players, they had about maybe 8 on each side, if lucky. If lucky, that means you finish one song, you finish the song at the end, and you got to take the tape and you got to flip it around and put it back in. What a crappy hassle, but it was the greatest invention of all. Okay, I hope you enjoyed watching my video of stuff from the 90s that I grew up with, that you guys probably have no damn clue what I'm talking about. Okay, but you know what? These were the top of the line toys, top of the line stuff that you will not find again. If you ever find one, hold on to it, check it out, listen to it, do what you need to get the cassettes for stuff or the games or whatever you need, because they are retro. They are old and worth money if you can find them in brand spanking new condition, because they were the greatest things of the 90s. Okay? So again, I hope you enjoyed watching my video. Thank you so much for watching it. Please, if you've seen any of these toys, literally any of these toys, please smack that thumbs up, please. Because if you have seen them, great. Then I know that people have actually seen them. If you've never seen them before, then do what you want. But if you find the video cool, smack that thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so you can get more of my videos that I put on every day. I mean literally every day. It might be a vlog, it might be what I grew up with in the 90s, or something else, or something you might not know of. But if you want to see all my videos and get the notification for it, subscribe to my channel. Share my video, because some people might not know about this stuff that I grew up with, that you might have not, that other people might have not seen before. So share my video. Okay, so I've asked you to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share my video. I think that's it. But thank you for watching again, because you guys are amazing. Without you guys, I am just nothing. I'm just a puddle of water of useless information. Okay, but most importantly, remember, be happy.